What's up? This your boy CJ Goodfella back with the boxing clinic, and y'all, that's another video. Trying to keep this one a little bit short and simple. A lot of people that know me, we just talk recreational boxing, basically just talking shit. People know that I was a big promoter of Adonis Stevenson, especially when people turned his back with the Kovalev thing, running off to Showtime and signing with Al Heyman. I just try to put myself in the fighter's point of view, even outside the channel, was, people eating with Al Heyman. People doesn't have anything bad to say about him. Never took anybody's money, just made money for guys. A lot of people say he match makes easily and really magnifies our dollar amount, and I have no problem with that. And Main Events has dropped the ball in a couple negotiations, including this one with the Stevenson and the purse bid, and they fell out. So I cannot put the 100% blame on him for that situation. But this guy just doesn't want to compete. He didn't want to fight Kovalev like I just spoke about, but I'm not mad about that. He just fights these subpar Al Heyman fighters like Thomas Williams Jr. He's gonna fight Marcus Brown if he beats this guy Alvarez, who's his countryman, who should get him a nice payday, but it's a mandatory fight from the WBC. I think he got stripped of his ring belt that he won from Chad Dawson, and I think it's about time for them to strip him of the WBC belt. I think it's just time for him to come back down to reality, to know what it feels like to be a hungry fighter. He's getting all these good main event and good paydays from Al Heyman, but he doesn't really hunger for more. He's satisfied with what he's doing, fighting easy mandatory fights. He doesn't want to challenge himself. He was negotiating with Joe Smith Jr., the guy who just knocked out Fonfora and knocked out Bernard Hopkins out the ring. They was negotiating. They was arguing over who was the A side and all this bullshit, which is just ludicrous. Because both guys will make a lot of money. It was going to be an MSG, Madison Square Garden, where Triple G is fighting this weekend, and it could have opened up a whole market for the Adonis Stevenson, other than fighting in Canada, where he's making a killing and a lot of money because they're big diehard boxing fans there. And I think they're some of the most underrated boxing fans out there. And and at this point, each one of these dudes will have to come to his country to fight, because he sells out the arena almost every time, or puts a lot of seats in the fans. And either one of these three guys on the right side of the screen, has a home crowd or can really sell out arena, an exception of Andre Ward in Oakland. But he doesn't want to fight Kovalev. Ward doesn't want to fight him. And Better be, but just a guy that people are just waiting to build up because he's not worth the risk right now. And I think the Joe Smith Jr. thing was a great fight. But the Alvarez thing, the Colombian guy that's a resident of Canada, is a mandatory shot for him. And for God's sakes, I know people hope that man wins. Because Stevenson ain't trying to unify. He ain't trying to challenge himself. He'll be 40 years old this September, and you would think he would be trying to cash in. But when you're getting steady $1 million paydays every time you fight for little risk to losing, he's comfortable. He's happy with what he's getting. I don't think he thinks the Kovalev money and Ward money and Better Be money is worth it. I think he's just content, and a content fighter is never a good thing in the sport. You always want to hunger for more and go in the right direction to keep going up. And for the last 3 or 4 or 5 fights, ever since the Chad Dawson fight, really, he's been trending, east and west instead of trending north. And it is what it is. We gone.